Hey guys, I'm here in San Diego thanks to GMC. I'm checking out a kicking camp run by NFL vet John Carney. He's working with pro players to make sure their kicks and punts are powerful and accurate. Now I've been getting around town in this GMC Canyon. It features a great backup camera and a nice big screen. So while those pro players have to rely on their instinct and training for accuracy, I've got a little help. I've got these guidelines that adjust as I turn the wheel, so I make it through the uprights every single time, or in my case, a parking spot. Now let's go see how those guys train, and I'm especially curious to hear what they think about the new extra point rule taking effect this season.
The ball is snapped. In less than a second, it's caught and placed on the ground, laces facing the uprights. The fate of the game now relies on you and one kick. 24 of last season's NFL contests were decided by a field goal on the final play of the game. The pressure on these guys and the demand for consistency is enormous. Some of the best kickers and punters in the NFL gather in San Diego, California every year for the start of training camp. It's 1 week when they set aside team rivalries and work together to make each other better. Matt Bosher, Atlanta Falcons. Nick Folk, New York Jets. Josh Brown, New York Giants. Nick Novak, Houston Texans. They're here for one reason. 23-year NFL veteran kicker John Carney and his NFL launching pad.
What is an NFL launching pad? Explain that.
I plan it several weeks out prior to training camp. The month of July, it's their last free time for the rest of the year. So this is an opportunity for these guys to get together and tune in and focus. The good kickers and good punters, they have to pay attention to angles, drop height, body lean, steps to the ball. It's not just about running out on the field and lining up and kicking the ball straight. There's a lot more to it than that.
Carney uses frame-by-frame video analysis of his kickers to analyze their body mechanics and make them masters of the invisible forces that determine if the ball will make it through the uprights. Projectile motion, gravity, air resistance, trajectory, and velocity.
How much of this do you think is like science and angles and all that stuff versus just kind of getting out there and doing it?
Anytime things are off a couple degrees here, a couple degrees there, it can change the flight of your ball. And even if the kick goes in here in nice sunny San Diego, when you get into December at a couple degrees in a December cold windy game, can mean a difference between a make or a miss.
Shane, this was the one I thought you just hit high on the ball. In his mind, he's calculated plant foot here, sweet spot here, and now this plant foot slides all the way there, and the shoe starts to collapse. So he's mishitting the ball a lot. You know, that right foot we wear is extremely important. The left foot's right behind it. And if we got the wrong plant foot, we're gonna have a long day that may not end well.
Carney's goal is to give the athletes a toolkit for self-diagnosis
When our head's down, our core stays engaged.
and the skills to make the fine mechanical adjustments necessary to correct mistakes and to produce results.
You have a couple of games now as a kicker or punter that don't go your way. Management's looking to replace you.
A rule change in the NFL this season is putting more pressure on kickers than ever. Extra points were snapped from the 2, but will now be snapped from the 15-yard line, making each extra point a 33-yard attempt.
Tell me about this rule change. What are you thinking about that? What are your thoughts on that? It's a big season for you.
And I think it is a very big change. I think you're going to see teams fall in big games because as the weather gets more inclement, understand wind and the tilt on the ball and how to stay in control. I think it's going to give guys some trouble.
Yes, it puts more pressure on them. There will be some kickers that are exposed, and there'll be some kickers that continue to be very successful, almost 100% at that range, and their value will increase.
The extra point was kind of a ceremonial play, if you will. If we scored, the defense didn't really come terribly too hard, but now they have a little more incentive, and it's 4th and 15, if you think about it. So they can really rush everyone and not worry about a 2-point conversion. So that puts the line in a vulnerable position.
Somebody decided they wanted to make the game better, and all we can do is live with it. And it's just like if a coach tells you to do something that you maybe don't want to do, it's still your job to do it.
At the end of the day, I hope I'm one of the ones that goes 100% at the end of the season. So for me, it doesn't change at all mentally.
All you guys kick differently. Nick has a lot of mass, so when he hits it, it's boom, it's solid. There's no one right way, but there's certainly some commonalities of why you guys are successful.
Who knew so much work went into a single kick? But when a game is on the line, a player who can remain calm under pressure and still be accurate might make all the difference.
Oh, nice.
Uphill too.